Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. Now I've been trying to get away from doing the intros, but I haven't had a whole lot of success with that. So I'm going to have to go back into doing that again, but I'm going to try and keep this as short as I possibly can. I apologize for how infrequently we've been posting videos the last few weeks. Been working a whole bunch of extra shifts, and then I went in and had eye surgery, so I've been recovering from that and still am. But hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we're going to get back to our usual routine of having a decent number of videos coming out for you guys, especially all those exclusive videos for our patrons. We're really trying to focus on giving you guys some awesome content. So for anybody that is interested in that, just go ahead and check the description of the video down below. And I've had quite a few questions, even though we've had this system in place for a little while, quite a few questions on how you can, how our fans can tip us or show appreciation to us, and you can buy us a cup of coffee. We set up a quote-unquote tip jar for that. Again, just check the description of the video down below if you're curious about that. Otherwise, hope you guys are enjoying things. Please email us with anything, strategies you would like to see, questions you may have, videos you would like to see. If you would like to see us do the true crime stuff again, or just the mob stories on Vegas, or the history of Vegas, or restaurants, anything you might like to see from us, please shoot me an email, sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. We love shooting this stuff for you guys. Otherwise, we're going to jump right into today's video. So today's video, I want to talk about things that everybody should know when they come up to the table, before they play craps. Things that people should know. Now, by no means is this a comprehensive list. Not at all. Just a few things that popped into my head the other day while I was at work and watching what I would charitably call a disaster of a table. So just some things I thought I would share. I know that on occasion we get brand new players that are checking out the channel. So some things, again, not comprehensive, that everybody should know when they come to the table. First thing, number one thing, it is a fast game. Dice is a quick game, and it should be a fast game. Oftentimes you'll see the box say, move the dice, move the dice, move the dice, get a roll, get a roll, get a roll. There's 18 players, or 16 players max on the table. Yes, there's enough spots for 20, but generally you're only going to allow 16 players, 8 players per side. So, and yet the game is still very fast. When we move the dice, we get the dice in the middle of the table. We pause, make sure there's no other bets or anything else going on. Everything is paid out. As soon as everything is paid out, oftentimes they will start moving the dice when the last payout is being done. So you don't want to wait. First off, you want to pay attention. Right? You don't want to have your payout sitting there, sitting on the layout. Okay? Pay attention. When they pay you, pick up your money. Craps is not a super social, I mean, it's a very social game, but it's not a game you can turn around and talk to your buddies. You're going to tick off the rest of the table when the dealers have to stop and say, buddy, pick up your money. Get your money out of the way. Dice are coming your way. Grab your money. Keep your hands out of the way. Pay attention. All right? Same thing with the field, We pay the field, and then we're saying, and then we're paying our place bets, and once we finish paying the place bets, we're moving the dice are moving, and we're saying, hey, all goes in the field, and what that means is pick up your damn money now. Because once those dice land, you're stuck. That's either winning or losing. And of course, yes, we will pay it when it wins. We're like a friend of mine says, the casinos want to beat you. They don't want to cheat you. So pay attention. You got to pay attention. It's a super fast game, which also means keep your hands out of the way. It's a very fast game. Keep your hands out of the way. Once those dice move, keep your hands out of the table. Right, so super fast game. That's the first thing. That's one of the first things that every player should know before they come to the table. Second thing that every player should know before they come to the table: know how you're going to bet. Know how you're going to bet. What I mean by that is, unless you're coming up to a dead table that has no other players, before you play craps, go watch some videos. Go watch some videos. Learn how the game works. Learn how the game plays. And figure out how you want to play. Figure out what bets you want to make and how you want to play. When it's a super busy table, and we have players that come up and say, hey, I have no idea how to play. I don't know how to play. Well, always tell me, hey, we're more than happy to help you out. We'll tell you how to play. But understand that it's going to be an extremely stripped down, very simple explanation. And It's probably not going to be very in-depth. If the table is very busy, the players or the dealers are more likely to say, hey, let's say let's say you come up to a $15 table and say, hey, I don't know how to play craps. And we've already got like 12 players on this game. We're going to say, okay, cool. Put $15 right there. All right, that's it. And we're going to move the dice. And then after we have a point, we're going to say, hey, put $15 back here, or 16 or 20, depending on 5 or 9. And we're going to say, hey, put some odds back there. And that's it. Now we're going to take care of all the players that know what they are betting. Because again, as I said the first point, it's a super, super, super fast game. So if you want to figure out place bets, on the live game is not the best time to do it unless, again, you happen to show up at a dead table. If there's other players, we can't slow the game down or stop the game for one person. The other side of that is don't make bets that you don't know. We have a lot of problems with people that put down come bets and have no idea how come bets work. And then they're slowing the game down because, it may travel. They'll say, hey, you want any odds? You want any odds? And that, a poor dealer is one that sits there for a minute. You want any odds? Do you want any odds? 15 odds, whatever. No. A good dealer is, it travels. Let me know if you want any odds. And they're moving on, taking care of the other players. If this person is hemming and hawing and can't figure it out, we'll say, hey, if you want odds, drop me $15. Otherwise, it's all right. And they'll pause for like 2 seconds. Okay, moving the dice. We're again, moving the dice very, 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 very fast. Right? And along with those knowing your bets, same thing, once it gets paid, it gets paid again. Pay attention, fast-moving game, pick up your money. If you don't pick up your money, all goes. We're going to stack it up, and the next roll, it's going to travel. Now it's locked in. Along with that, knowing your bets, knowing how you're going to play, combined with it's a super fast game, is don't string your bets. Have an idea of what you want to bet, and give them to us all at once. You don't want to sit there, let me get a $5 hard 4, and a $5 hard 10, and a $5 hard 8. If you're not betting them all, I've had people that string all 4 of them in, that's always fun. But if you're not going to bet them all, there's nothing against saying, hey, let me get all the hard ways except for the 10. Or let me get the hard 6, 8, 4. Throw them all in together. Same thing with place bets. Don't sit there going, hey, let me get a 5, and a 6, and an 8, and a 9. And again, we're going to roll back to understand the bets and know how you're going to play. If the table is super busy, the dealers may not, if they know you're new, they may not say, hey, drop me $6 to make these right. Or they may or they may not. It's going to depend. Depends how new you're acting. Because if you're acting new and confused, they're very likely not going to, because it ends up being a minute-long discussion and stopping the dice when people are really confused and we're trying to tell them, hey, drop us $6 to fix your 6 and 8. They'll pay you better. Instead, we're just going to go ahead and pay them the $17 of the improper bet. Casino keep the loose change, and we just move on. But it's a lot easier if you can just say, hey, give me 60 inside. Okay. The other thing is, don't buy in and then say, give me all the numbers, or give me across whatever that is. That is going to dead stop the game. They got to break it down, then they got to figure out what makes sense. And oftentimes they're going to give you a whole bunch of change because they're not going to go to the closest thing. They're going to go to the easiest thing. So know your bets. The other thing that if we're in a really busy game and we've got some string bettors and people that are making it really difficult. I actually had this happen the other day. We had a guy that did something like this. It was a stack that looked about like this. And he went, I want all the numbers. Now, we're really busy. We've got a full table going. The roll is really good. We're already like 7-8 minutes into this roll. And you want us to come to a dead stop to figure out how much money you gave us, to then figure out what's going to make sense there. That was a non-starter. The dealer was like, do you want all the numbers or all the numbers including? Okay, tell me how much you want to bet per number. Do you want 135 across? Tell me. And then they went to the rest of the players and dealt with their bets. And this player is still, I don't know. Well, when you know, go ahead and let us know what you want to bet. Dice are out. We're not going to stop the game. Know your bet. If you want 135 across, then drop down 135 across. And if you wanted 160 including, then drop that down and say, I want 160 including. But don't just drop a random dollar amount and expect the dealers to stop the game so they can figure out your bet for you. Now, if we can, we will. I would say 90% of the time we will. Although most of the time we're going to move it over to the middle, let the boxman break it down, figure it out while we're dealing with the rest of the bets. But either way, it oftentimes brings the game to a dead stop. The other 10% of the time, we're going to say, you got to let me know how much you want to bet, and we're going to keep going. Because you got to know your bets. We cannot stop the game. One of the big things that people need to understand before they come to the table is you're not the only player. And unlike other table games such as blackjack or some of these others, there's a lot more players. And the game is going a lot faster. And we're not going to stop the game for one person when we've got 15 other people that want a flowing, quick-moving game. And the last point of, again, my non-comprehensive list of things to know before you come up to play craps, listen to the dealers. I don't mean for how to play. I'm not going to get into there's a lot of players. Okay, I'm going to get in there. There's a lot of players that think they have figured out this game, that they are the professors of this game. They're like, well, the dealers don't really understand the game and the math behind it and the numbers behind it, and they're more like the refs while we're the players. No, that's no. 99.9999999% of the players that play any of the table games, really, but especially craps, are more like the guy sitting at home watching the game screaming at the TV about what the team should have done, whereas the dealers are more like the positional coaches, while the box is more like the head coach. The dealers know the ins and outs of the positions, of the core parts of the game. The box will know the game in depth. We generally don't give advice to people on how to play because people want to argue, especially when we see people that have these complicated things, bets and strategies that they've worked out on a piece of paper somewhere and think they can hedge this, hedge that. We just keep our mouth shut and just watch them lose. Everybody apocryphally has these stories. I play this and I always win. You always win except when we watch you play because we see you win like 1 in 20 times. The dealers know the game. Not only do they know the game inside and out, they have seen 1,000 times more roles and more strategies than any player ever will. And the dealers have seen people that have won the most, what strategies, but generally the dealers are not going to tell you how to play unless you ask. They're also generally not going to correct. We absolutely hate it when players tell new players or other players how to play. We absolutely hate that because we hear all the errors in the things they are saying. But we don't say anything. We're not here to get into an argument with people. If someone wants to listen to someone else, by all means. Now, we will step in if a player is berating another player on their strategy or how they're playing the game or anything like that. Then we will absolutely step in. I will every single time tell a player, hey, it's not your place to tell that person how to bet their money. They're playing just fine. And it's pretty funny because I have seen dealers that look at a strategy somebody is doing and know it's a terrible strategy and are kind of subtly rolling their eyes and stuff like that. And then some other player will start berating this person on their play, and the dealer will instantly step in and defend that person and say, hey, that's not true. They're playing just fine. How they play is how they play. It's none of your business how they want to play. They're more than welcome to play however they like. There's nothing wrong with how they're playing. Almost instantly, they will step in and defend. What I mean by listen to the dealers is when the dealers or the box gives an instruction, it needs to be listened to because there's a reason that those instructions are being given. When we tell people, hey, watch your hands, keep your hands outside of the rail, don't put your hands on the table, the dice are out, don't make late bets. There's a reason. There's a reason that the dealers are saying this stuff, and between the dealers and the box, a lot of people have to understand that the players don't set the rules. The house sets the rules. It's amazing how many people will act different in a casino than they would ever expect anybody to act where they work. If they told somebody where they work, hey, you can't do that, they would have zero tolerance for a person saying, don't tell me what I can and can't do. Well, it's the same thing in a casino. If the employees tell you, hey, you need to do this or hey, you can't do that, arguing will never get you anywhere. It always cracks me up when we tell people, hey, you got to get your bets while the dice are in the middle. Hey, got to get your bets while the dice are in the middle. Hey, try and bet earlier, please. Got to get those bets in earlier, please. Then after 3 or 4 or 5 warnings, the next late bet, no bet. And then people are like, I've never had someone tell me that before. Oh, you're full of it. That's just an absolute load of BS. Never had someone tell me to get my bets on the dice on the table. Bull. That is such a load of crap. And we know it. We just roll our eyes. But at that point now, that player now has a target on their back, not because of the late bets, because of a bad attitude. Now we got to watch this person because we know they're going to argue. They're probably going to end up, a lot of times when people start arguing at the dealers of the box, their bad attitude escalates. And it's something we know. When the dealers or the box says, hey, you got to keep your hands out of the table when the dice are moving, there's a reason for that. We have a reason for telling people that. One of my favorites when we tell people, hey, you got to hit the back wall with the dice. No, I don't. Well, that's up to you. If you want to keep shooting, yes, you do. You don't make the rules. The house does. The house's rule is you need to hit the back wall. You can argue all you want, but then at a certain point, guess what? You're not shooting anymore. I actually witnessed something very similar the other day, not with the dice hitting the back wall, because every day we cut shooters off. Every single day people get cut off from shooting. We give people plenty of warnings, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 warnings. Oftentimes I don't say a word until the third short roll. Then they get 2 or 3 verbal warnings from me, then a very harsh warning, then a final warning. So there's a ton of opportunities for people to hit the back wall, for people to stop short throwing. But I actually saw a guy get warnings on his language. Just got warnings on his language. And I'm an adult. Well, act like it. You can't tell me how to speak. You're right. I can't tell you how to speak. I can tell you how to speak in our business, though. Right? And this wasn't even me. I wasn't even the one sitting box for this. But, but yeah, but I did hear for a solid hour multiple warnings, multiple warnings on language, and got a lot more warnings than honestly, than I would have given. And then the next thing I see is him being taken out by security. And not just taken away from the tables, not just told he can't play craps anymore. He was booted out of the casino. Because again, the players don't set the rules. The house sets the rules. And they're not hard rules to follow. Some places won't allow you to say certain things. It's not a hard rule to follow. Just watch your language. Again, we're all grown adults. Some casinos most won't allow you to solicit tips, won't allow players to solicit tips. If they've got a great role, saying things like, hey, don't forget to tip the shooter or all that. Oh, no, that'll get shut down real quick. We'll give 1, maybe 2 warnings, and then that person's going to get booted off the table. Again, we give warnings, and there's not hard rules to follow. Hit the back wall with the dice. Not a hard rule to follow. So listen to the dealers. The dealers are there to run the game, to control the game, and also to help you out. They will help you. So I hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, or at least just plain fun. I know many people are going to find this boring just because it's a lot of talking. Sorry. And thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Bye now. Thank you everybody for watching today's video. And as promised, a little bit more detail on things that we are working on. So again, we want to continue trying to expand the channel. We're really hoping to be able to add roulette as soon as possible, and then some video keno, video slots, stuff along those lines. Unfortunately, it ate up almost all of our cash, paying off all of our bills during the month of January while we were down. And now that the holidays have ended, YouTube's payouts have dropped significantly. So we're kind of treading water here as far as all that goes. Do have a lot of things we want to add, though. Not just those things, those additional games, and hopefully some carnival games and such like that, but the live streams. The biggest problem right now with the live streams is with 3 jobs combined between the 2 of us, 4 if I include the 20 to 30 hours a week I'm putting into the YouTube channel. It's very, very difficult for me to have a day and time that I can commit to doing the live stream every single week, because we also have our very young child to take care of. But I'm trying to figure that out. I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being on Monday nights or Tuesday afternoons, or possibly both. I intend to do at least 1 live stream exclusively for our patrons, and then another one on the YouTube channel. So possibly both days. We also have a few other things that we really want to attempt to move forward on. I'm just running into either time or skill set issues. I do want to eventually have a website going for us. I did used to program websites over a decade ago. A lot of things have changed, and I just don't have that time. Not a whole lot of knowledge on the current state of building websites, hosting site, what sites can host, and how to build up, the e-commerce stuff. So if anybody has any skill sets along those lines and would like to answer some questions or just help us out, shoot us an email, sincitylivingLV@gmail.com. Also, I really hope to be able to start adding some exclusive stuff from Sin City Living, logoed shirts, hats. I'm looking to get custom dice made, even custom layouts made, although those would be pretty expensive. But I know zero about e-commerce and drop shipping and anything along those lines. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area, please email me. I would love to ask you some questions and see if you can answer a few to help me figure out how to get that going. Same thing with designing our logos. I had some logos designed, very, very small logos, unfortunately, not big enough to blow up to put on T-shirts and stuff like that. And again, I know I know nothing about logo design, graphic design, any kind of websites that could do it. I literally know nothing. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area also, please email me, and you're willing to answer some questions, please email me and let me know. I'll admit I don't even know where to start as far as asking some questions, but I'm sure I'll ask a few, and that'll trigger a few more, so on and so forth. So yeah, there's that, and of course we do hope to continue to improve our AV setup, but I am an AV moron, so also right there, if you have any skill sets or knowledge in that area, please email me and are willing to answer some questions. Please email me and let me know. We would love to help. Otherwise, again, thank you everybody for watching, and we're very excited to continue bringing you our videos. Bye now.